What are some of the struggles about trying to get across the lake when the ice is breaking up? Do you want to talk about it?
Well, I remember my first pregnancy. I was due any day and the ice conditions were really bad. I had to walk across because my son was born April 16th. And then when we come home, couldn't even walk. There was no airboat. So my uncle took his boat and picked us up at the landing. Holy man, that was so terrifying. I literally cried and prayed most of the way across. Just being a new mom, he right away, his first day home, his safety, he was jeopardized, like right off the bat, just, he was only a few days old and he had to come across like that. We broke through. Sometimes we'd break through and the boat would tip and, it was just terrifying. I'll never ever forget that.
Do you remember your dad pushing and working for the road?
Yeah. Growing up, that's all they ever strived for was a road. And that's all was talked about at the dinner table. That's all that was talked about at, sitting outside and stuff. I remember all the passion that they carried.
Everyone struggles here during this time. We don't know when the ice will start thawing, so we're pretty much at the mercy of the elements right now, so we don't know if it's going to thaw today or tomorrow. And when it starts to get really scary, then they'll start blocking off the ice roads. I try not to take my daughter across during this time. She's only 7 and it's too dangerous. It's definitely a struggle. And for me, if I go grocery shopping, I'll usually end up going by myself and then I'll have to haul everything over, whether it's walking on the ice on a sled or on the airboat. And there's elders that may have emergencies to get them to the ambulance across, but they have to go in an airboat. That's a pretty big struggle, and even for our water, for the water to get transported is a struggle in itself. So we're pretty much in crisis mode every day until the barge gets going, and that's just reality for us. We keep talking about how resilient our community members are, and we're tired of being resilient.
Our community has been on boiled water advisory for over 19 years now, and sometimes a lot of us would be sick because we actually drank that water right from the lake, and it wasn't even clean. So there's a lot of times we had to do that. So, and when the water came in, bottled water came in, it was kind of like a lifesaver, but at the same time, it's such a big hassle. Like, you got to make sure you have that water all the time, like even to make with your coffee or daily things, you need it. So it's like, it kind of gets really annoying. Like, we have to depend on it all the time.
I used to be angry and stuff, but ceremonies really helped me heal. I never used to be a person to believe in stuff like that. Growing up, I wasn't taught that way. But there was one night there, I was by myself and I asked, like, why do we have to struggle like this? And it's the first time I ever had somebody talk to me. And that was our ancestor that spoke with me, and that's what I was told. The only way things are going to change is if we start having our ceremonies again, acknowledging all the other beings that are out there. Everything just started falling into place. And I started advocating more and just being more involved with the community. Ran for council, and that kind of motivated me to do more.
I was in council at a young age. I think I was 24. And during that time, the neighboring community had blockaded us. We went into, I guess, emergency planning mode. What do we do? And it was the woman that sat around and said, you know, that's enough. You know, that we had enough, and that we would create awareness to our situation by walking to Winnipeg.
The walk is in response to their access being blocked by their close neighbors, Shoal Lake number 39. Road access is through number 39's territory and then via barge in summer or ice road in winter. Last week, notices were put on cars that number 39 wanted money for highway maintenance.
When we first started getting notices from the 39 members, you know, we knew something had to be done. And it was a woman that said, that's enough.
However, the walk isn't a protest against their cousins on Shoal Lake 39. It's aimed at the federal government for letting this situation fester and get out of hand.
We're trying to turn this negative into a positive and take that opportunity to start our march for our Freedom Road.
This whole situation has been made worse because Shoal Lake just happens to be where the city of Winnipeg gets its drinking water. So any road development comes under intense scrutiny. After reaching their goal at the Forks, they chose land that is the future site of a proposed Canadian Museum for Human Rights.
They should really think about providing us road access before they start building fancy state-of-the-art buildings to promote human rights.
That day we reached the Forks, I was so tired already because I was already going on 7 days, and I said, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I felt like it was all for nothing, like, because I was like that. I was skeptic about the road happening. Like I always said to myself, I'll believe it when I see it. I was one of them. It seems like it came a long ways, like from walking that time, and then all of a sudden I'm building this road. And when we actually started building here, there was not even any rock out there yet. It was just like mud. And then we had to take the trees down, and, you know, and then I think about I actually was the only woman out there all this time. This one elder even said to me, he said, no, Anne, there is nothing no woman in this world can't do. That's what he said to me, and I always think about that. It just dawned on me, like, where I should be proud of myself. Like, I kept doing it, and I was like, I think about I think back, and I was saying to myself, like, oh my God, like, this is finally done. You know, like, all the struggles and all the emotions I had a lot of anger, because, like, why can't we be heard? Like as if I was screaming at the top of my lungs, like, somebody help us, give us our road. Like, I cried so much, so many times, because I really got tired of living like that. I don't know, it's just like push our past behind and move on forward, keep going. I think we're going in the right direction with our community and for our kids, especially our kids. But to be able to celebrate that day when we connected the road to the highway was so overwhelming. Like, it's something that I think a lot of us felt that because we were really like crying with joy. It was something that I've always dreamed of. And I'm just kind of saddened that we lost our family members. They couldn't see this, but I know they're with us. They're probably laughing at us and, you know, saying, hey, you guys did it. Thank you, miigwech. Like I said, I see when my dad can probably, he's probably just happy and dancing right now. My dad, I know. That's all I could say, you know.